Hello everyone, Julianne from Lovebird Lane here. I'm here with another tutorial just talking about inkle bands. So here I have my inkle loom, which is the Ashford Inklette. So I'll just turn it around. It's a little hard to see because I've got myself zoomed in, but you can see there it is the Inklette loom by Ashford, as I said, and this is their smaller of the inkle looms, and it does a 1.8 meter band. So what I'm working with here is some Knit Picks Curio, and it is in their Comfrey colorway. And before we start with the tutorial, I thought I would just show you what I mean when I say that I want to try and get even edges on my inkle bands. I'm just going to zoom in again, so bear with me. Here is an inkle band that I made previously, and this was my very first one, so I'm happy with it for a first go. The beginning was a little bit wonky, but on the whole it wasn't too bad. But you can probably see here that my edges are not really very even. They're a bit lumpy and bumpy. There's areas where it kind of works itself out. I mean, this side does not look too bad. This side looks a little bit rubbish. So basically what I wanted to do was to investigate on how to find, I wanted to investigate how to even those out, because I'm making these inkle bands as an extra little handmade touch for my hand woven project bags. So for handles and drawstrings and things like that, I wanted to have some nice inkle bands all woven up to add just another little handmade personal touch to my bags. So like I said, this was the first one that I did, and I'm very happy with it for my very first try. I think I warped it slightly wrong, but that's not a huge issue. You can't really even tell. But yeah, it was just those edges that were kind of bothering me a little bit. So we'll pop that away. All right, so now that we've seen what the edges can look like if they are not nice and even, I will now show you my technique that I have gleaned from watching YouTube videos, doing Google searches to try and find what the best way to get really nice clean edges on my inkle band is, and I'm actually really happy with the way that it's coming out. Now, just a little bit of a disclaimer, as it is handmade, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be machine straight machine type of made. So a little bit of, wobble here and there is not really going to bother me, but on the whole, I would like it to look nice and even. So I'll start now by showing you how I have found to do this. So we're going to want to pull through our beater. Most tutorials that you see creating inkle bands is to pull your yarn all the way through, give it a little tug, open the next shed, beat your yarn. But the way that I have found that I really like the way it works is I'm just going to pull that back out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave just a little loop. So sort of a comfortable finger length loop. So you can see that there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the next shed, which is pushing down on my threads. I'm going to get my beater. I'm going to come through, I'm going to beat that nice and hard. I'm just going to lift my beater up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a slight tug on both sides just so I don't get any little bubbles of thread either side. This side is probably not such a big deal because this is the side I'm going to be pulling this loop through, but you want to keep this quite nice and tight so that you can prevent any little bubble in there, which will be the little bubble of yarn. So it's actually excess length of yarn, which you don't want. So what you're going to do now is you're going to hold on to that loop, hold on to the edge of your weaving and start pulling. And then obviously as the loop gets smaller, you're going to take your finger out and you're just going to hold on to the edge because that keeps those edge stitches, those edge threads nice and held in place. And you're just going to pull that until you feel that you can't really pull it anymore. So there we go. And we're going to do that again. So we've already got the next shed here. We're just going to pull that down a little. We're just going to pull through our beater, and we're going to do the same thing we're going to leave a little bit of a loop, just enough that you can hold on to it. Next shed, which is threads up, put in my beater. I'm going to beat that last thread, lift up. So you can see here very clearly that there are two little bumps of thread. So we're going to pull this one, because this is the side that our loop is on. We're going to pull on that, and we're going to pull that. So I'm going to hold on to that, and I'm going to hold on to the edge of the threads, and I'm going to pull. Nice and straight. So let's do it again. I might zoom in on the next one so that you can see it nice and up close. All right, we're going to push the threads down. Next shed, put in our beater, squeeze that down because that last one went a little bit wonky. I'm going to pull that through. I need to put something non-slip on the bottom of my inkle loom because I find that it's always sliding around. So that's a hot tip for you if you're getting a brand new inkle loom. Just keep in mind that you might want something. The larger ones come with a clamp so that you can hold them to the table, but obviously because I've got the smaller one, there is nothing like that included. So I need to get something non-stick for the bottom. So there's a tip for you. All right, so we've left our loop. We're going to pull our threads up, put in the beater, squeeze that down. Just lift that up, hold on to our loop so it's nice and taut, hold on to the edge and pull through. A little bit more. Here we go. All right, all zoomed in. Okay, so we're ready to pull through with our next thread. And I will pull that so we've got a little bit of a loop. All right, the next shed is to push down on the threads. Bring in our beater. Beat that last thread, lift the beater out of the way, pull nice and tight, hold on to the edge. It's a little bit tricky here because I'm very close to the wood, but hold on to the edge, pull that nice and snug, and there we go. So you can see that the edges here are far more even than the inkle band that I showed you just before. The only issue that I've really found with this particular method is that eventually you might get a little bit of a curve. You can possibly see that on the video. It's just a little bit of a curve on that thread. And I found that the easiest way to fix that is to just go through. We're going to pull through our next loop. So we're ready to beat again. I'm going to pull my threads up because it's an up shed. We're going to beat that. And we want to beat it nice and hard so it compacts the weft threads below. And we'll pull this through. Nice and snug. Nice straight edges. So the thing is sometimes it can look a little bit too compressed after you've done that really hard beating step. However, I've found as you go that kind of evens itself all out, and you end up with a nice, regular, even-looking inkle band. So I hope that was helpful for you today. If you did enjoy the video, please remember to give it a like, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.